Welcome to the new version 2.5 of the career mode sheet. Just going to quickly go through the new calculators as there's been some big changes the way it works and also the way that you're going to apply for your own rulings. Obviously, if you don't fancy doing the rulings, it's self-employed, so you can easily just change to whatever you want, but it's kind of how the calculator kind of works now. Dead simple. Just like previously, so you put your team's current overall in. So for this, I want to use an example of Chelsea. So currently Chelsea are rated 80 on the new game. Elite Heritage Club, which they are because they've got a bit of a history. They've won the European Cup, well known across the world. So yeah, then you choose from the drop box the league. So you can see choose Premier League and the continental competition if they are in one, which they're in the Conference League this season. Now, moving down, we're going to be buying a player. We're going to try and buy João Felix like they did in the summer. So the selling club, which was Atletico Madrid, was rated at 82 in the new game. They're also an elite heritage club. We choose La Liga for their league and Champions League from the drop-down box. Player overall, I want to use it off the last games just because I can't bother to look up the new one. He was 81 with an 87 potential. For potential, if people don't want to look up stuff, because I personally don't, just try to estimate what you think their potential is. Sometimes you can overshoot and sometimes you can go under slightly, but it'll kind of create like transfers that maybe like a bit more variance in your transfers. So I think don't never really look up your potential. Just have a guess at what the potential could be, especially with things like regions as well. You won't ever know the potential. There's no way you can look it up. So it's best to just kind of have a guess. Anyway, moving on. Transfer listed, 30 years old. These are all in the old calculators. Just click away whatever applies. And Atletico Madrid were actively trying to sell, so we're going to put transfer listed. If it's a deadline day deal, if it's a winter window, which neither are, it's not a local rival and not a same league rival. So local rival would be, Man United trying to buy from Man City, or your same league rival is anyone in the same league as you, essentially, which obviously they're in a Liga, so they're not. Then you put the player's value in. So at the time, João Felix was rated at 31 million on the game. So the way this is going to work now, you're going to put a bid in for that player. So you're going to estimate how much you think he's worth. What will happen? So let's say we put in a 38 million bidding for João Felix. And then we click the response. And we get bid rejected. So the club's rejected us. Now what I would say, and this is up to you completely, but I would say that you cannot come back to do another bid for that player for another 2 weeks. Or if deadline day comes sooner than that. So either you have to wait 2 weeks or you have to wait until deadline day, whichever comes sooner. And then you can do the bid again. So we take the response off. Okay, so I had a bid rejected. It's now come to like 2 weeks later. If it comes deadline day, then obviously you're going to tick that box, which you know is going to cost you even more. But for now, we're just going to say it's 2 weeks. I'm going to go 40 million instead then. And now the tick box. And bid has been accepted. So the club has accepted my offer. This is now changing from what's realistic and what isn't. So any club can actually buy, but you need the money. And as you can see, for the big players, the big potentials, you're going to have to put significant money down because that's a big bid in comparison to what the game will make you bid for a 31 million player. Anyway, moving on. Once that's completed, leave it all as it is, don't do anything. Next, move down past the selling calculator to what's now known as the player move interest calculator. So this is now changed from not just the club that you've got to convince, you've got to convince the player to come to you. So the player overall, 81, and his potential 87. Elite Heritage Club, we're going to say he's currently at is Atletico Madrid, so yes. The league is La Liga. The continental competition that they're currently in is Champions League, and you can see there's these 3 boxes here, which is you'll give the player a release clause, you'll give the player star player wages. What this means is they'll be the highest paid player in your club. Every club can only have one ever, so if you've already got one, you won't be able to do that. If you sell your star player, then you can go out and try to get another one by offering that. Their wages will be unique compared to the rest of the wages. and you've got double signing bonus. So double signing bonus obviously just means you'll double whatever the signing bonus is for when you go to the contract talks. Anyway, we're not going to click any, and we're going to click response to see if the player would come to us. So as you can see, the player is not interested. If this happens, then what I'd say is same as the bid, wait 2 weeks, come back, or deadline day. If on deadline day you fail, it means you're going to have to move on to other targets or wait to the next window to get this player. And what this will do, this will create that kind of a transfer saga where you're going to have to bid multiple times because obviously you're trying to not spend as much. So you might have like 2 or 3 bids rejected and you've had to wait 6 weeks to finally get the player, which let's say like last summer you had Declan Rice from West Ham to Arsenal. We all knew about it, but it took nearly 2 months for it to actually get completed. So that'll feel similar to this. And also the player response, because a lot of times you can bid for a player and the club is happy to sell because they want the money, but the player doesn't want to move. So in this instance, we waited 2 weeks, and let's say this time we're going to say, okay, we're going to give you a release clause, and let's offer it. And now Joe Felix has agreed to move. So when you go in the contract talks, just remember you'll have to give that player a release clause, which obviously then creates that opportunity of someone can come and just put the release clause in and you'll lose that player. So once again, player turnover. Leave all these boxes ticked until you've done the wage calculator like you normally would, especially because like I said, if you're giving double signing bonus or if you're giving star player wages, it does affect what the wage and signing bonus you have to give them. So keep it all as there. Yep, once that's all done, you saw the player, you can untick and delete all the stuff you need to. You might as well just leave this box as it is for the rest of the season. And over here, you've got contract renewal. So rather than having to use these calculators when you're trying to renew a contract, you'll use this one, just like on the previous sheet. Put your player overall in, and you just tick box that apply. I've also included now how long they've been at the club. So the longer they've been at the club, the chances of them staying goes down, unless you know the academy player and stuff. That you can kind of affect them staying. Anyway, you click the response just the same, and you get the result. If they reject you, give it 2 weeks, just the same as anything else, and then you can try to renegotiate a new contract. So yeah, that's it for this. Hopefully it's a nice short video for you to watch and to kind of understand. If you have any questions, bang them on the Discord and I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.